Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category in the Fanduel app to help you win money. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Also, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, follow our Twitter to stay up to date with any roster moves / players sitting and games postponed. Also on Twitter, you could DM us for a wild card lineup, and then we will definitely send you one if possible. All right, top 5 from tonight's slate by position. At point guard, we got Trae Young. Shooting guard, we got Bradley Beal. Small forward, we got Jaylen Brown. At the power forward position, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. At the center position, we got Clint Capella. Mock lineup number 1. If this is your first time to the channel, these mock lineups we will be providing for you guys. You feel free to use 90% of the lineup and substitute players where you see fit to get your own taste to your lineup. This is a real good slate tonight. Holiday versus an Atlanta defense that's ranked 27th in fantasy points to point guards. Kemba Walker is getting stronger the more he plays, and without Tatum, he is a valuable option. DeMar is the cover player for a reason. Washington defense is terrible. It's atrocious. He's already in a good groove doing everything for San Antonio. Anticipate him doing more. RJ Barrett is playing Portland like Washington. Awful defense. He's been scorching. Gallinari is a fill-in for this particular lineup. He's working back from injury, but essentially scored the same FDP as minutes plays last game. Atlanta is dealing with injury, so he should step in and play a little more. Covington has stepped up slightly since McCollum is out. Should be a good game versus New York. Aaron Gordon has been playing well. Charlotte is ranked 28th versus power forwards. Drummond will probably have his way against the smaller Boston team. Boston is good overall, but no true center. All right, hitter per position mock lineup. When you go hitter per position tonight, it can get rough filling in. Mills, Pat, Gay, and Noel are not bad, but you are hoping they get enough minutes to produce like they can. Mills may have to step in for injury along with Rudy Gay. Lillard will be asked to do more without CJ McCollum. He will score points, but he needs to do more in the stat sheet. Devontae Graham is playing well right now, and Orlando's defense won't change much of that. Jaylen Brown is doing his best to carry Boston right now. Cleveland will put up a fight, which will require him to be better than he was. Julius Randle he's just been unreal. Regardless of the opponent, he has played consistent. In the new year, Randle's lowest FDP has been 29 FDP and 39 FDP. Every other game, he's been in the 40s or 50s. That is ludicrous. Orlando relies on the scoring of Vekovic, but he does so much more. He has shown he could score 24 points as far as field goals, but still have 40 plus in FDP because he rebounds and assists and things like that. All right, late heavy game lineup. This lineup is very heavy in the New York versus Portland game. You should get really good production from each other team, and Portland's defense is awful, and the Portland players are strong enough to do well. All your early players are strong in or have good matchups. We recently said Johnson has been struggling lately, but best way to get back on track is to play a bad team. So he could definitely get back on track this game. Early heavy lineup. We supplied this lineup with the third most productive person in the late game in Barrett. The rest of the lineup will hopefully put you in a position where he can just keep you ahead of the rest of the night. We are slightly nervous about Clint Capella. He has had the benefit of playing against weak competition during this crazy run of his. The last good center he played was Utah, going against Rudy Gobert, and that's where he only scored 29 FDP. Outside of that, it's been subpar centers. Milwaukee will force him out to the three-point line unless they switch him on Giannis, and if that happens, he may have a chance to get blocks and rebounds, but Capella may be a risky play. Something to really think about, especially Clint Capella. He costs $10,000 now, So, that's definitely something to think about. Two most expensive lineup. Yes, we continuously see San Antonio guards, or at least two San Antonio players. Washington defense is awful. They are coming off almost 2 weeks of no basketball and missing half their roster. Your two most expensive in this lineup is Giannis and Bradley Beal. Both play unfavorable matchups. Giannis won't have to perform his usual arcade numbers, but he's usually going to want to make up for his most recent performance against the LA Lakers, where he didn't play up to Giannis Antetokounmpo standards as far as FDP. While Bradley Beal has to play well, or they may get blown away quick. So Bradley Beal has to play well, and San Antonio more than likely are not going to stop him. All right, Rozier and Fournier, Evan. Let's just call him Evan. Rozier and Evan Fournier are playing in what may be the closest scoring game tomorrow. They both have played well lately, so we're counting on them to continue, as both do more than just score for their team. Mitchell Robinson tends to sneak and have good games. This will be one of those games he can do just that versus Portland. Player per game lineup. Here we try to balance out your lineup by providing one player per game in this lineup. Here we provided 2 per game, except Atlanta and Milwaukee, and no Cleveland player. We just aren't sure who can provide enough in that game from Atlanta. Trae Young may sit, and they have other players who are hurt, and until there is no one on the injury report, it's tough picking confidently in this game. Earlier we picked Gallinari, but that was simply to fill in a spot at that salary, like our player from Washington in this lineup. Consistent players. This lineup helps you the most. We provided players who have stayed within the same FDP or slightly more or less in recent games. It was tough choosing between Andre Drummond and his matchup versus Vekovic. Drummond has been good, but not as consistent. All other positions have been consistent lately or gotten better. And this is the last lineup we have for you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We need all the subscribers we can get. Please share the video. Please comment if you have any questions about today's game. And thank you for choosing another episode of the Pickpockets DFS.